very surprising to see how well they've been performing, right? I mean, you talk about the two maps that they've been playing. They have lost one, which is unfortunate. Did lose to Ents 16-14. But then, of course, on the flip side of things, Mad Lions, Inferno, 16-9. They've already played this map into the RMR. Have Sprout done their research heading into this one?
Now, what's Rao's going to be like on LAN as well is what I'm wondering to myself. Dignitas, the heavy favourites, I want to say, coming into this one. Sprout are going to try and see if they can get the upper hand. A lot of pace going into this bracket position. Dig aren't messing about at all.
Holzerk taking his fierceness towards short. Cressy is going to be on the receiving end of onslaught as well. Slaxy's the first to fall. Cressy's angle doesn't get checked, but Holzerk carries them to success here out towards the A site. Unbelievable stuff to kick things off. A lightning fast pistol round. And we dive into a 5-on-3 where Dignitas, bomb set down, numbers advantage, kit on Speedy, no smoke to accompany. It's just the double flash.
Even Rao's taking the distraction, just wasting further and further time. And they realize now that 5-on-3 situation for the T's, they've already got the apartment's control. There's not really going to be a way in for us. So let's hold on to what we've got. Hold on to the Kevlar, the kit, and the double flash for Speedy. Dignitas just Holzer doing work, running wild out to that short side, being able to open up the site, dealing with Cressy and Slacks, and not really getting pressured at all.
Willing to save, keep the half arm. I'm not sure if Rawls, he's taken damage to the Kevlar, whether he's going to stick with it. Of course, Sprout, I think they were looking to reinvest in this round, having Fathom been dinked. They are going to go hunting Freiburg. Is he going to find anything back and forth between the angles? He shall find one. Nonetheless, a second round. An opportunity maybe for the reinvestment. Sprout is whether they want to try and dig deep, find this force. They will. Cressy, CZ, half armor smoke. They're willing to go for this here, Sprout. I mean, cautious, I think, is the word you've got to use into this round, because Dig, a couple of SMGs, unkevlar'd opponent, or rather, no helmet opponents, that could spill into absolute anarchy.
And it's the SMGs on the two veteran guys of this team, Forest and Freiburg, trying to see what they can find. Early nade stack up to the top of Banana. Heavy stack coming through from Sprout, and now we're starting to see some of that dropped utility. One of those smokes being dropped over to an anchor player on that B side could allow Speedy to rotate back to A if he likes.
Probably the most applicable map as well here, Dweg, for the utility dropping, right? We see a lot of people chucking the smokes in towards spawn, lobbing them towards B, just giving the B players that extra molly, that extra smoke, that extra shot at success. But this round, of course, gambling incorrectly. Dig go for an apps pop. They have themselves the moto smoke. They have themselves the site control. And well, there you go. It is going to be surely Dig for a second. Now, the question is it hunting season for Dignitas? Are we going to see the MAC-10s charge forward to try and do the damage? Or are we going to see more passive, play smart, give Sprout the respect?
I would assume at least one of the MAC-10s will go for it, or at least both of them. Sprout really gambling on the heavy B stack. And as soon as they realize the A side's taken, they're just not interested at all. And Dig, they're getting closer and closer.
Edging in. Whether they find the frag or not is a different question. Freiburg giving it a good attempt. I think, doesn't want to peek into the jaws of too many Sprout players. Has the read on rules now, just about tapping away maybe for now. The only thing that's going to be heard is the bomb detonated. The flashbang tossed in. Heat and Freiburg both caught behind. Pressure in. Fathom for one. Lecro to trade. So only the MAC-10 of Freiburg lost. Not a bad scenario. It sets back the CT side more than it does your own.
An interesting fact as well from Rouse that I only found out quite recently from speaking to him is that for the last sort of 6 or 7 years of his CS career, this is the first time he's actually full-time. He always had education, like it was uni, or maybe it was a part-time job, or whatever it have been. I guess he did start making a name for himself on a resurgence on Lyngby Vikings before coming over to this Sprout side. He is completely full-time now.
That is quite interesting that you mentioned that, right? We always talk about, half-time, part-time, full-time, what are you in CS? I mean, if you can find yourself in a full-time position, Dweg, that's so much time focused in on CS. Demo watching, doing everything. It's not just turning up, pracking, going home. There's a lot more to it. And so having the extra hours, the extra availability, I guess, Dweg, at this point in time is something they're going to be more than happy to have. Minute and 13 on the clock. Dignitas incredibly slow. Do have the tendency drifting towards Banana right now, bomb in hand as well. Utility being poured forward for Sprout, though, buying themselves a lot of time.
It does mean when you drop those smokes out to the CT angle of Speedy that re-smoking the top of Banana is going to make it easier, rather than if you're a first or second Oranges player out to Dark or even into New Box. Being able to throw that top Banana smoke just gets slightly more difficult. Dignitas, they're going to be exec into the stack.
See how they fare. Sprout ready and raring to go. The utility pouring forward. Dignitas sort of edging forward. Step by step, trying to find first blood. Walls to trade. Deagler Favin on the boost. Won't find anything. Speedy's CZ will find one, but Lecrow's double leaves Cressy in a 1-on-3. Deagle equipped. Lecrow does lose his head. First kill found. German does fall back. The nade lands to his side. No Kevlar, bear that in mind. Having said that, spam forward. Freiburg taking a little bit of extra damage. Peek in. Cressy can't find a thing. Good attempt. Dignitas with three. 3 casualties, though, on the eco here, Dwayne. Something to take note of for Dig.
Yeah, and probably start realizing to themselves we need some more info plays, because that one right there, they had no idea they were running into a stack before it was already too late. And Slacks on that AWP. Try and see if we can bring that forward. Dignitas getting off to that 3-0 start, working the early momentum. And Sprout, you'd have to imagine there's going to be a way back in. Haven't really seen that much Banana control be established from Sprout. They've been quite defensive and quite passive on the back foot over to that B side.
See how they fare in this one, Greg. It is all guns blazing for both sides. AWP set up for Sprout in the hands of Slacks. On the flip side, Dignitas yet to bring forward that sniper. Instead, the 5 rifles. Slacks missed shot, and the AK has dinked him through the wall. Tagged down 2/5. Sprout, in the meantime, trying to make up for that lost HP by taking aggression towards Banana. Problem is, more than ready to go here. Dignitas just dropping the counter utility, playing their own game.
Yeah, decent utility usage coming in from Sprout just to be able to drive Dignitas out of that Banana contact. A heap. Another player that kind of came out of nowhere, honestly, in the Swedish scene. Hadn't seen much of him before. A sports advisor and B-grip with some of the Swedish teams before playing up on Dignitas. Has made a name for himself now. Flash over the top, counter flash even better by the T side. They're so blind, and even out to the sandbags, Rounds can't find anything.
Heap stays alive, a 5-on-4 in favour of Dignitas, dropping the nade in, but in fact, Dignitas aren't even caring about this B site. They're going to wrap right back around towards A. Forest lining up the Moto smoke. They're going to dip in towards short Molly to try and prevent Favin dropping the smoke on top as well. Cressy ready to drop the counter volley, and he shall, but a smoke in the way gives Hallzerk the opener. Now a 5-on-3 becomes near impossible, especially if Favin's flushed out. They know this one-way smoke only spells disaster. AWP and M4 on Slacks and Speedy respectively, nowhere to be seen out towards B.
Jeez, they look like the better team by far. I know the sample size isn't much considering this is only the 4th round. You just see it by the utility usage. Sprout try and retake top Banana. They have a flash over the top, and as soon as they peek in and see nothing, what happens? There's another flash over the half wall for the T's. Heap sweeps around the corner, deals with that first sandbags player, and once they start pulling the distractions of B, they bring that bomb into A. The defenders of Farford and Cressy can't do much at all. And Slacks and Speedy have got no option just to save their weapons.
Financially, you're not really gaining much here, Dweg. You're losing 3, you only save across 2. I mean, a couple of SMGs could be brought forward. Slacks. The kill here could give Speedy the opportunity to scoop up that premium T rifle, but I think that's just going to be too out of harm's way. Dignitas, flawless. 4-0 ahead. I'm not concerned just yet. Problem is for Sprout, right? I mean, you look at this B play, you look at how this execute went down, and they were just second best to both opening engagements. Fathom with this one-way smoke, he knew he was dead to right. He just had to play his time, play the seconds, and by then Sprout had already made the decision to save, just basically hung out to dry. Dignitas now bring forward that AWP to Hallzerk.
Try and get some AWP going up on this T side, and you'd have to imagine that for Sprout, in terms of risk, what they can apply going into round 5, they can push it up ever so slightly. They know they don't have the best buys in the world, so if Slacks wants to get aggro, look for a boiler peak, you can do.
Slacks, he's going to be caught blind. In fact, the pistol that's trying to help him, Father has to back away as well. That P250 can't connect. It is Freiburg to find the first, Hallzerk to find the second. Cressy only good for 1. P250 in the meantime finds Heath. Looks for another, Hallzerk to prevail with a Glock. Sidearm whipped out for the close quarter engagement. Gives Speedy and Rawls a nigh-on impossible task to retake.
Yeah, Forest thinking about overextending out from this brackets position, looking into long, just realizing it's not all that important. They hunt down these last couple of pistols. Hallzerk with the AWP even finding consistency as that motor smoke goes down. And this is pacey. We're seeing some exciting Counter-Strike out for the Swedes.
Taking their time in exiting walls, maybe giving it a good go. Looking for the exit, given nothing, has to back away, knows the bomb detonation, might get chased down by any of the players from Dig. And so just like that, we'll see ourselves to a 5th on the board for Dignitas. Sprout yet to score. Fortunate for them though, Dweg, they do get an investment here. The availability for the AWP, in fact, the double AWP setup is here. Sprout, it's all about choices.
We know that Farfen doesn't mind doing some secondary AWPing over in that pit angle, so if he wants to be able to pick up that second big green, that's an opportunity there. Hulzer looking very much on point. Tactical timeout coming through from the Germans. Possibly to discuss that buy scenario retro. Are we going to see the double orbs? Are we going to see that change? Dignitas have not really been tested in the early stages of Inferno.
I think so far it has been the T side picking round after round. The 5v4s seem to always fall in favor of Dignitas. Sprout maybe looking for that change, maybe looking for the opportunity, I guess, in this sense, to give themselves a bit of a lead, a bit of a trail to follow. Nothing as of yet, absolutely nothing. Every trail they have has gone cold. Out towards 8, they lost 2 players immediately. Out towards B, the man advantage quickly went. It's just loss after loss for Sprout. Finally, we see the 4 buy, including that AWP setup. Will this be a different game?
Slacks looking over the half wall, flash over the top. Oh, there was an opportunity, and Heap just swings so completely blind. Slack saw nothing for ages, and the T-side just strike further nades up to the top of Banana. It does go back and forth, and Freiburg's the one to get traded by the utility.
AWP to move away. The rest of Sprout, patient. I mean, a double stack in on long, some would say crazy. For this situation, Sprout just going to try and catch them by surprise. Great util usage onto Hulzer. He's dropped to 34. Farven sits in the smoke. Forest back turned. He's not sure where to look, not sure where to check. When will he pull the trigger here, Farven, on this play? Lekro's found one on the front. Surely this is the flank. Hulzer thinking about the peek from behind with bomb in hand. I don't think he's going to be willing to dip his toes in the water in that sense. The nade to go up the location of Farven. That play in the smoke could have rewarded them something, but I think the effort has to be quickly removed as, well, I mean, you don't really have the chances in this one.
It's very risky Counter-Strike with some of these stacks from Sprout, and I'm sure the coach of J is not happy with what he's looking at. They're able to lose the first fight, bring it back to a 4-on-4 with the util, and they're playing 2 alongside. They've got no one to even keep eyes on apartments or that short commitment in which Dignitas have loved so far on this T side. Just means they get completely exploited. Cressy cannot really find anything moving into Moto, getting caught off into the side. And for Farfen, needed to make that aggressive play through the smoke so much earlier. The problem with that is, how do you even know it's going to work? How do you know they're not just pre-aiming you?
A 6th in a row for Dignitas leaves Sprout scratching their heads. This one, to be honest, we're going to see a reinvestment. Rulzer's got fast stacks of cash that he can assist his teammates in getting the rifles. That AWP save as well is granted. Plenty of opportunities into this one, Dwight. Eyes on Sprout so far. The Germans yet to score, yet to find a man advantage in any of these rounds, it feels like. Always in a 4-on-5, always second best. And, well, maybe that's the problem.
More intent for an opening duel. Slacks just trying to take that pop shot as soon as that flash pops. Gets close to Freiburg, not close enough. Desperation has got to be on the minds of some of the Sprout players to start making a play, creating an opportunity. Further nades going down to the bottom of Banana. This time around for Dignitas, they don't even have players at logs. They're not interested in taking Banana.
Speedy, the first man to go aggressive. Flashbang tossed in. He got blind Freiburg, too smart. Walls, though, doubles down. We'll find some success with the M4. Problem is he's hunted by the pack of walls, and that being Heap has just cracked open this B site. He's going to charge forward. He's now going to realize this whole site is clear. Forest scoops up the bomb, shifting towards B. Yet to clear out the site, though, Dweg. That's going to take some time. The rotate's already come in. It's Favon to try and hold things down. Smoke in his face, one in response. They've taken too long here, Dignitas. They're going to have to fight a third man to get this control.
Heap needs to be looking out to this construction angle, out to the coffins. Farfen thinking about the peek forward. Heap, the perfect timing to catch Farfen off. And what a perfect level of confidence for Heat to start moving forward, retaking that banana control. Just after Rouse got a couple of kills, he thinks, right, a couple of kills through smoke, I'm going to try and fall back, hold on to the numbers game, keep passiveness on that B side, and instead, he just gets hunted. So much aggression coming through from Heap means that there's no real way he can survive, and then even follows up, opens up that B side. Lekro's hunting on A.
It was like a flick of a switch, Dweg. He pushed in B when he knew the ammunition count was low, when he knew Rawls wasn't exactly too tasteful in the HP department. And then he sits so passive, waits for Farvan's move, and it's cost him his life. Lekro up close, peeking in. Right eye peek, gives him the frag, looking for another. He's hunting for these players. Slack's the last man standing with the AWP, does get away. A second timeout called in 8 rounds played here, Dweg. And I mean, we talked about him, Heap. Look at this, ultra aggressive. And then, look, just patiently waiting, biding his time, does catch Farvan on some good timing. And then the hunts come in. Dignitas, no respect for this side, just cutting the economy, just cutthroat CS in general.
And just the young'uns doing really well. Hauser, the 21-year-old, Heat, the 21-year-old, lining up the scoreboards. I mean, you think about everyone else on this team, the coach of Vendetta, Forrest, Freiburg, Lekro, guys that have played years and years at the Tier 1 level. Land experience beyond most players at this event. 7-0. They're looking fantastic. They're starting to have some good variation. They're being able to catch Sprout off guard. They're catching them sleeping. And individually, Sprout just aren't up to par.
Slacks to hold the mid line. This AWP is super aggressive. I mean, not even scoped in on that position there, Dweg. Does opt away. I think he knows the carelessness of that one. Sprout seem a bit desperate here. But Dignitas' calculated approach, as you mentioned. The old blood bleeding into the new. I mean, Heap and Hauser look like they have all the experience that Lekro, Forrest, and Freiburg have had. The tutoring seems to have been amazing. But they're also capable, fragging left, right, and center. Holzerk 7-1, Heap 7-2, topping the scoreboard for the T side.
You have to be desperate for the Sprout side. You haven't won a single game in this group. You're down 0-7 in a best of 1. You've got to start being able to show up quickly. Otherwise, this game's just going to be over. And for Dignitas, it could just be the B exec. There's still plenty of time left on the clock. They've still got some util to work with. Rouse playing over at the B site. We've seen how much success he's found in the past. He needs another multi-frag round.
It's Heap to move in first. The man that cracked open the site previously. This is a really nice off angle from Rawls. The double boost in towards the blue box. The utility over the top. No flashbang can flush him out of this position. Holzerk holding the line towards CT. Lekro trying to jump on him. That's it. Position compromised. Oh, and he finds the flicker. Now Speedy has to tuck away. Can't quite find it. Freiburg through the smoke. And a 5-on-3. Sprout forfeit the B site. No doubt about it. The round. It's going to be 8 in a row for Dig.
Sprout are one of those teams that they like the gimmicks. They like the gimmicky stuff. And in that one there, you just see 0-7 down. Let's try and catch them off guard. Let's try and get a boost that they'll never expect on the other side of first oranges. And for Lekro, he's just jiggle peeking, sees exactly what's going on with the jump phase, deals with Rouse, ends up just spraying through. You can see Spinny just trying to escape in the side. That doesn't happen at all. And there's more Hunt Squad members.
Moving their way in. Dig know the power of their economy and the weakness of Sprouts. They can easily go for this. Freiburg will spot out one, calling the AWP in towards Mini Pit. Nice shot from Slacks. Now I think Dignitas have to show that respect. Oh, I'm going to dip in the smoke. Hold on a second. I talk about respect. The lap model maybe. Slacks, he's going to get hunted down. A second frag. No, denied. Heap. Oh, a whisker away from death, but does survive. Freiburg in the meantime catching off Farvan. And that's going to be 8 on the board for Dignitas. A single survivor, I do believe, as well for the CT side. Money is horrible. Sprout just second best to everything.
Yeah, they're having a shocker here, and things are just not showing up at all. The Germans having a difficult time, and no one's putting up numbers. Their highest fragger is Rouse on 4 kills. But going into the 9th round, and for Dignitas, it's looking simple. Now, one thing I will want to keep an eye on for Dig is just how composed they are. How sort of level out they can be at this 8-0 scoreline and not just sort of get over the top of themselves and start getting cocky. Just realize they're in a perfect advantage. There's no point wasting it. Just keep the pressure on.
Dig most certainly getting a feel for how Sprout are playing, and that feeling has just given them so much leverage in this matchup, right? We talk about the panic maybe for Sprout. Look at the utility Dignitas have, right? A couple of these players still sitting at full. Forest, 3 out of 4, 2 out of 4 and a couple. Heat, the only man really lacking. On the flip side for Sprout, you've got, what, 2 people with capable utility? Other than that, it's horrible. They don't have much to hold on with. However, double smoke deployed towards Banana definitely doesn't pay any favors. Freiburg gunned down through the smoke. Rules to find the opener. Finally, we see Sprout with a man advantage.
It seemed like Dig had read that just with the counter utility with the flashes, just not getting Freiburg out to safety. Slacks with the NWP completely dry. They've now got a couple of man advantages.
This is good, better than most. Can Sprout convert? Slacks, nice flick. Looks for a second, the follow-up frag unsuccessful. In the meantime, Cressy to find the line. Lekro 1 on 5. And how do we go from 8 rounds in a row from Dignitas to a flawless one from Sprout? Signs to change maybe, but we need more than just that. We need consistency for the Sprout side if any eyebrows are going to be raised and any heads to be turned.
Break the streak. That's going to help the confidence be built by Sprout just ever so slightly. Need to turn it into a second and a third and a fourth and just continue going down that sort of avenue of approach. It does help that they had an opening man advantage and they had Slacks on the short side with the AWP just being able to face and have that crossfire established. Could even see some aggression coming through from Farfan if they want. Slacks with some further utility out for the second mid peak.
Balls are pressuring in. Slacks to hold the line. Nice first frag. Balls to find the follow-up towards Banana as well. Now we start to see Sprout finding a foot for themselves in Tweg. We're seeing consistency in opening frags. We're seeing pressure being taken away from them and forced to dig. A 5-on-3. Respectable.
And it could have just been the lack of confidence in the early portion of this half. Now they've been able to start gathering that back. They're playing with pressure off, making some looser decisions in the early round and just being able to get rewarded. Slacks waiting for that aggressive peak to come in. Even Rouse decided to push down for Banana, now going back up to the half wall. Dig are going to have to dig deep if they want to try and bring back this 3v5.
Taking their time to wait. 55 seconds. Sprout. They're trying to play a little bit of a crossfire here. Forest, he'll wiggle in. Problem is, of course, if you don't get a flashback, you're peeking dry into the crossfire where Rawls and Speedy lie. Freiburg, his teammates have awakened the beast on Banana, and I don't think he's going to be the man capable of stopping it. Dips in the molly, flashbang goes high. Will we see someone turn? Both of them do, but Speedy still to find it while blind. It gives Sprout their second. 6 still the lead for Dignitas. Problem is, they're starting to close that gap, and money's starting to be pulled away from the T side completely.
No, something we have seen over the course of the day, Retro, is just how massive leads can start moving down into tied-up scorelines. You take the Copenhagen Flames as a prime example. That was, what, 14-8 up for the Danes, up against G2, and then we ended up going to overtime. So even though the Swedes of Dig have got off to a fly of a start, keep it in mind that Sprout have got the capabilities of starting to really hammer home a comeback.
Very true. And to be quite honest with you, if there's a team that's going to have LAN experience against Dignitas, I wouldn't exactly put it on Sprout, but I would say it's definitely there, right? We talk about the history of these players as well individually, right? We see Rawls coming in from the revival of Lingby Vikings. We talk about the OGs, alternate attacks, ex-alternate attacks, I guess. Speedy as well as, I mean, I've had the pleasure of interviewing him once, and I mean, from the get-go, even before the introductions of Rawls, he seemed very confident in this team. It just wanted time. He wanted time with a team to build. And I mean, so far, this has been... The time given is enough. And Sprout can finally see them at an event. We finally see them at a LAN. Time to turn up, though. Second bottom in their group. This is their chance to turn things around.
Not a lot of util on the B-side anchors. Rouse can put a resmoke down to Bernardo. It doesn't mean that Dig can't just run through it.
Smoke going to be blocked by Rawls, whether there's a gap in it or not. The question's to be solved. In fact, he doesn't care if there's a gap. He's going to go aggressive. Lekro will catch off the first. Speedy now goes aggressive in the middle of that smoke to try and find the trade. Problem is, second smoke in towards CT. Expected a flash, a 1-for-1. Faven goes down with 2, but it's a 3-on-2. Forest, Heap, and Freiburg all out towards the B site, piling in. And Sprout, back to the same old, where 2 players survive, but you're probably looking at a save here.
Jeez, they play chaotic Counter-Strike, don't they, Dignitas? You see the way that they re-smoke down from Rouse and everyone just spams through, then they start diving forward. Trades are so quick. And for Sprout, is this retake really on? A kill needs to present itself in the next 5 seconds or so, otherwise it has to be a save.
Bomb ticking, seconds passing. Cressy, with that smoke, it only allows him to cross, which means Sprout. They transition to save. A thoughtful round for Sprout. No doubt about it. I mean, to take double aggression towards B is, I mean, most people would say a horrible idea. The fact that Farven went down with 2, though, I think proves there was a chance in that round to egg. The problem was the incapability, I'd say. Rawls and Speedy out towards that B site just can't convert a kill between them. Of course, that's such weight on someone's shoulders. Good to find 2, but the numbers advantage still played in favor of Dignitas.
Yeah, Farfen and Speedy just having a difficult time. Rouse could be the same said for him in CT Spawn. Dig up to 9, and you'd have to imagine the chance of getting 11, 12 rounds on this T side look very promising. Sprout bringing 3 players early round over to the B side, thinking about having an AWP contact duel. That's Banana.
Molly dipped in. Sprout, they are actually triple stacking towards the B site here, understandably so. Dignitas, they do have a tendency of going towards B. The problem is in this round, of course, Dweg. The one round they do opt for the proactive play towards B. 4 players piling in from the back position. Whoa, what is this? Wall back through the door. Cressy good for 1. Letcro spam does enough to flush him out. Nice trade from Farson. Problem is, the numbers override. Speedy try to find more, just don't know where to aim. A 2-on-2. Somehow Sprout have made this workable.
They're trying to fight fire with fire, aren't they? They're trying to see if they can get quite chaotic with the trades, because that's what Dig are doing. And now it comes down to Lecro and Forest. They can slow this round down. Another re-smoke out to that motor position. Have a chance of going out wide to being able to pick up that bomb and just getting it planted in the 2v2.
Time? Low. Not low enough, of course. They could set the bomb down. So they have 45 seconds to work with. In fairness, it's a decent amount. I mean, this aggressiveness from Forest is uncharacteristic. Usually the brain behind the team. Now onto Lecro. Has to tap them away. And overzealousness from Forest probably cost them that round. Sprout find a 3rd. Somehow we see a 3-for-3 towards A. And I think Dignitas feeling it just a little bit too much here.
Hey, just see the way that Speedy just runs through that motor smoke, because he just knows to himself he's got to keep pressure on. He's got to allow time for his teammates to get into rotating positions and still keep that round winnable. With Forest thinking about making the aggressive move in that post plant rather than playing it passive, getting stuck on the site with Lecro. Okay, I'm going to try and make a play, see if we can isolate one of these fights. Doesn't quite come through. A 3rd tactical now for Sprout. They've got to be careful, Retro, because they've only got 1 left. So where do they use that, considering this is going into the start of round 13?
I'm unsure as to why a timeout is needed here, right? I mean, some teams do it just because of preference, right? We see teams just go, you know what? Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Let's use it as a bit of a motivational talk. You know, allow everyone to breathe. For this, though, Sprout, they're down by 6 rounds. So you've just won your first. Understandably so if you've won maybe 2, 3, 4 rounds in a row where things look more promising on your CT sub and you're piecing together that puzzle. In this, though, it's like we win a round. Okay, what went wrong in that one? I mean, you won. Dignitas should be the ones calling the timeout here to not get too ahead of themselves. I didn't expect it from Sprout, and as you mentioned, I mean, a minimum should Dignitas, I mean, get another, what, 7 rounds in a row to take it 16-3. You've got 1 timeout to share between, at minimum, 7 rounds.
Yeah, something to think about. Forest as well hasn't really had the greatest of individual success when it comes out to this T side. Only 1 kill to his name. I guess when you've got so many players around you that have been so consistent, his presence not quite needed. AWP of Slacks is still very passive on this B site alone. And I'm worried about that, because with the rotation, Rouse could be in quickly. It just depends on when does he start to rotate.
As you mentioned, the solo survivor, the only opportunity. Nice shot does catch Heap. The opportunity's still there. He hasn't fizzled out. He's just repositioning. Finds a leg shot to Freiburg. Tries to extend to another. Just wild spam through the smoke for the AWP, as well as that the CT smoke being leveled with AK rounds. Rawls will find success, though, and that's towards CT. The main front of the force comes from Banana. 3 players running on in. Dweg Lecro won't find one. He falls it back to override. Holzerk trying to find the spam. Faven through the smoke. Forest 1-on-4. The overzealousness in the last now leaves him humbled with 4 players to find. 3 in on Banana. He just doesn't know the angles peeking on in, and 2 players in the jaws of his crosshair. Can't connect to either.
That's a great retake in from Sprout. It's coordinated. First off, you've got a decent advantage. Slacks is able to not only get that pick, fall back off of B, stay alive. Notice how quickly those rotations come down the bottom of mid to get into Banana. Flashes come in high, they peak on the contact. And for Dig, they realize, all right, 3v5, we need to start making some space. We need to start getting some info and start gathering some picks. Lekro starts making that adjustment of moving forward into that CT spawn area. And as soon as he loses that fight, that round is all pretty much over. Sprout, they find their fourth.
Signs of life, Dweg. 2 in a row. I mean, convincing to some. For me, I think one more round maybe to give the eye opener, to raise an eyebrow, go, hold on a minute, Sprout actually have a chance. Problem is, you've only got 2 more rounds until the end of the half. That whistle being called in. Speedy. Nice angle. He'll catch Heat. Freiburg to move away. Is he going to be caught out as well? German can't quite find the angle here. Tweg. 4 on 5. Nice grenade. Freiburg going to be caught in the molly as well. And that's gone from bad to worse for the banana control.
Just starting to see some more success in from Sprout. Also, some success from that Deagle. Great shot in from Lekro. And now to try and follow up, they know there's a player in pit.
Opportunities. How they take them. They expect the flash. It was just a smoke drag. They get faked out. Horzer finds another. A 3-on-3. A monumental round. He's going to join the force on short. Cressy. He's going to have to be the main man towards me. His position compromised. He's going to be gunned down by 1. Boris to find the trade bomb. He slips into mini pit. Speedy to hold on. Horzer does have the bomb. Set it down. Extra cash. A 1-on-2. 24 points of health. Don't see him winning this one. Needs to find a ridiculous shot. Won't land. Speedy to find the last. A bomb plant and 3 kills. Respectable stuff for Dig.
Yeah, very much so. It's an expensive round, and for Sprout, they have difficult time for the A defenders. Multi-kills just don't really come. Cressy finds 1. Speedy on the rotate is able to find 3. Rouse as well, starting to step up. And he's a guy that, as well, being very experienced to the team, is also very new to the whole concept of Sprout. He's only signed with the team, what was it, the 12th of August? So that's coming up to a couple of months now. Being tested on LAN, and the Dane is putting on a very good performance.
I mean, it's another player that's sort of fit for the team. I talked about this in the complexity game previous, of course, against Movistar Riders, and how well he's sort of fit in the short time. Raw's given a little bit more time, of course, than that of Coldzera over at Complexity. I mean, what, he joined August 12th, so it has been a month and a half, and he's been unreal. Slacks finds the first AWP, trumping that of the A pressure. Dig seemed lost in these last few rounds, Dweg, on where to go, because Sprout have just been the better side to hold on.
Yeah, it seems that now they've been able to find some success. Just elements are starting to flow. Opening man advantages are being found. Slacks has found some more consistency. And now even into the apartments, just clearing out all the angles, making sure that none of these aggressive cubby holds are coming in from Sprout. They still do have 3 on the A side. You'd have to imagine that for Dig, this has to be a lean into A. They don't have any banana control at all.
Taking their time with it here, Dweg. Don't want to be risking too much towards A. It's a triple stack, and, well, they move away from the A site. They go back towards B. The AWP of Holzerk going to be getting a flashbang. Now to hold the aggressive angle. Just taking their time. Really eyeing up their options here. Unsure on where to go, it seems.
Just trying to see if they can spot for info. Start scrambling the CTs into a B fake. Cressy out from pitch, just got to try and hold. Time is very low for the T's to work with.
20 seconds. AWP of Slacks. He's got to find the first. A sharp frag. M4, excuse me, towards pit. Unsuccessful, but it wasn't conned. Lekro doesn't check. He now going to walk into the jaws of Cressy, and it's a triple for him at the end. Impressive stuff. That takes Sprout to 6. We're going to go to a break here, Dweg, but when we are back, the second half of Inferno. Dig 9, Sprout 6.
Seems like I can't get away from the hot sun. Always night and never day. Even when I wash the floor, the dust still comes. Keep on hunting for the bread. No matter how lost, need no light, no spark. I'm in line mode. With my eyes closed, I can see in the dark. I'm a quiet storm. Far from calm, I know you feel me, brother. Seems like I can't get away from the hot sun. Always night, it's never day. Even when I watch the floor, the dust will come. Keep on hunting for the prey. No matter how lost, need no light, no spark. I'm in line mode. With my eyes closed, I can see in the dark. I'm a quiet storm. Far from calm, I know you feel me, brother.
Well, an interesting
right.
first half, Tweg. 9-6, Dignitas lead, but after an 8-0 start, we expected more. We expected domination from the Dignitas side. Yet to see that prevailing, though, in the latter part of that first half. We head to the second pistol, of course. Double util setup for Sprout. On the flip side of things, Dig all in. 4 lots of Kevlar, 1 kit, double flash, hoping for the best.
It does seem as if there's a way in now for Sprout, doesn't it? It really does feel as if the heat's turned up in this series, and we haven't just gone from 8-0 to 15-0, and no, actually it is a 9-6 half. So for Sprout, seeing if they can elevate themselves on this T-side pistol all comes down to the start. And for Speedy, he's got that util to work with. Forrest is making a couple of jiggles, some info plays down to the bottom of mid, not seeing anything. Very silent, very slow from Sprout to gain this banana control.
They've got a single smoke, Molotov, flashbang to be expended in towards B. The bomb's still in T-spawn, Hidweg. An alarming factor, of course, if they were going to try and pressure B immediately, just waiting for Speedy, I guess, to join forces. But no, in fact, they don't go towards B. They've got the banana control. They're not satisfied enough. They are moving back towards middle and into the jaws of Forrest. He sits more passive with the USP, just trying to clear middle, jiggling every now and again, getting that information. Playing smart here. Sprout, they are pinned effectively here towards banana because no information picked up towards middle.
Oh, I like this. So they've got a couple of players out to banana, just trying to see if they can fake it, draw those rotates over. There are still 2 aggressive brackets players from the CTs that aren't moving.
That could be deadly to this play, of course, to fumble it all. In fact, the shots are rattling on the other side of the map. Also, he was firing off towards apartments. Rawls will find the first out towards B. Of course, the double stack. The rest of the players coming in from apartments. Lekro will kill 1. Realize the rest of the site's clear. Now the penny drops for the A play. Also, he's going to get assisted by Forrest only momentarily as his head hits the deck. Farven will find 1 more. And just like that, it's flipped again, Dweg. 2-on-3, Dignitas, a man disadvantage for the retake.
Beautiful trades in from Sprout down to that short side to keep their eyes on for the lurkers. And Freiburg coming in quite quickly with Lekro. They've got to get these kills in quick.
Taking their time. that time quickly evaporating. Freiburg has got the kit. Problem is, so many angles to face. The flank in from Farben. He's found one, and the second here in the post plant. A 4K for him. I'm surprised we don't see any screams from Sprout, man. That's the round you've got to get the hype, right? You've just won, what, 5 in a row? It was an 8-0 start for Dignitas. They've just conceded the second pistol. This is the turnaround point. Dignitas are in your pocket now, not the other way around.
Yeah, some teams like to keep their emotion on the low until the victory comes in, don't they? Because they realize, all right, we'll stay composed. We don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. That was a nice wraparound play. And what helped as well with that fake on B, it didn't quite draw their attentions. It still did damage. Rouse was able to still find a pick over at that B side. Lecco the jiggles with the scout, struggling to find the headshot. Because he doesn't find that frag quick enough, just gets punished.
And they take immediate possession of mid. Horzer caught out with his pistol, I do believe. That cost him his life. In the meantime, Freiburg firing through the smoke. It means nothing. Speedy's found the third kill out towards A. The penny drops, of course, once again that the A site's clear. They can simply pressure, plant the bomb. No retake in for Dignitas. I think it's just going to be the double deagle save for the Dignitas side. A lot of Ds. Nonetheless, they take an L in this one. It's going to be an 8th on the board for Sprout, keeping things, I mean, very, very intense, very close. And in this round, they're going to go hunting. Slacks goes forward with a Mac-10. You can see they're chucking around the flashes. They're like, no, you flash me. No, you flash me. They're all eager to get in on it, Dwag.
Now, these are going to be some of the slight changes, right? Knowing, okay, Mac-10 was against Entry. That flash just does not even quite pop in the direction that he would have liked. They still get the kill, so I guess it was still achieved. And Freiburg holding on to the Deagle, seeing if they could just bring at least some sort of upgrades into the next eco. There's one player down from mid. That is Rail's being dealt with. So there's a rifle that can get picked up now from Freiburg and should be able to hold on to it.
Sweet. Free upgrade. That's an AK into an eco round though, Dweg. Maybe not the best time to bring it forward. But you know what? It could have some impact. We see a bit of a tech pause coming through. I don't know what that was, what it's about. Wish we did. Always the tech problems at Landweg. It seems to be we've had like so many tech problems in the last 2 games. I mean, you talk about what, like the 3 timeouts that we had, tech pauses in the Movistar Riders game. Maybe a lot of fists through monitors, or I don't know. Maybe just TeamSpeak problems, as they usually are.
Shout out to the Dignitas social media manager for choking his old team, by the way. Don't know if you saw it, Retro. But there was a post from the Dignitas social media team. Dig up 8, Sprout 0, and it's the guy with the stick saying, come on, do something. And the logo of Dignitas on top and Sprout on the bottom. Yeah, by the way, the distance is only 1 now. Dignitas have a lead of 9-8, and they're going into an eco into next. So Sprout, they're hot on their heels.
I mean, what I mean, I'm having a look now, trying to find it. Oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
I mean, fair enough. Do you know what?
It was posted at the right time, because that's when the streak ended.
They poked the belly of the beast, it seems.
They really did.
I'm surprised we haven't seen any memes about the fact that Forest is now bold as well. I think Twitch chat will probably have an absolute field day with it, but I mean, surprised to see Dignitas haven't, you know, called him like, I don't know, upside down, I guess, or...
Yeah, I didn't know what to say about that. I did see it. It did catch me off in the interview, and the picture as well. Man, it's weird. It's weird seeing Forest with no hair. And the beard as well. Do you know what? It makes it worse to see the beard and not the hair on his head. Right? Yeah, I get ya.
It's like an Arquez from Finest.
Yes,
it's like,
I know what you mean.
So much hair on the bottom half, but nothing on the top. It's like, was it like, you know, you super glued it from the top to the bottom? Don't know. I'm jealous, Twig. I can't grow a beard. No matter how much I like strain and like try and push the hair out, it just nothing happens, mate. I look like I reckon I could fit into, if it wasn't for my height, I reckon I could fit into like year 9. You know, I'd look young.
Well, some of the Dig players look like young, and I guess it's because they are, right? Both of these teams have got some youngsters moving forward and getting them LAN experience. Dignitas, I would imagine for them, they're not quite happy with the position they're in. Yes, they've still got lead. Yeah, they've been able to start having a way in. They've got the AK for Freiburg to go into round 18. They just had such a massive lead and it's starting to disappear.
Wow, good flash, and it grants them the first kill, so they use the AK to its full effect. The potency, of course, of that premium rifle is that more than likely you're going to win an engagement. Problem is, rest of the Sprout players out towards B, dipping the molly towards the second box, Heap going wild with the trigger through the smoke, Lecro on the back of the site, his team needs to come up at the large. Problem is, he does find one, but his position compromised, spamming away, Farfan will fall, Freiburg though finds 2, the AK coming up tenfold to the rifles on the Sprout side, and Speedy against 3, 16 points of health, has taken down that premium rifle, but still a MAC-10 and a USP to find.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe this is now winnable for Dignitas. You think about the level of investment. Lecro, one of the B players, getting away with 1 kill, and Freiburg, the majority of it. Speedy's waiting for a mistake. He's got so much time to work with. I don't know how he gets this bomb down, though. When you've got a CT player in spawn of Helzer peeking and Forest out from coffins, planting the bomb's going to be near impossible. He has to try and isolate the fights.
Moves his way out, spots out the MAC-10, now knows his location, 40 seconds, gonna tap the bomb, expects the peek from Forest, just 1 pistol shot will be enough. No, he's sent down to 2 points of health. Speedy, actually give him respect to run away. Problem is, they're gonna pick up on these steps so quickly. We won't see Halls immediately rotate, doesn't want to fall for that just yet, but we need to see him start moving now. In fact, he's not. Speedy's just been given a free sight, and a 1v2 with an AK on 2 points of health. It's hard to egg, don't get me wrong, but having the bomb plant now forces the hand of Dignitas rather than his own.
Now get that bomb down. You'd have to imagine that for Speedy, he knows that they don't have a kit, so that's something that can come through his mind, because he has to play time. He can't afford to peek on any kind of tap.
Moving in, it's aggressiveness. Usually we see passiveness on the low HP, but Speedy wants to take the fight to them. Has Halls in his sights, first kill found. Speedy, a 1-on-3, 2 points of health for the remaining 2 players. And he's done the hard work. He's caught out the initial player, Forest. He's got minimal time to move in and find the defuse. No Kevlar as well. Speedy's backed in towards apartments. Oh man, the bomb's ticked away. It's too far gone. There's no way Forest has time for this. Speedy's just won.
Incredible. What a round. And just the level of destruction that can come through out to the B side if he gets that planted, and he narrowly evades it. He gets out of there, moves into A, and Dig just don't quite have enough in the round. They realize it's an eco. Is Forest really going to win it? Probably not. Okay, let's just hold on to the rifle, bring it into the next round. It started off so well. Freiburg with that opening pick, Lecro getting one out behind Nubox, even the boost up from Flower Pods. And in this position, it really doesn't look like Speedy's got a way into the round, and instead, he clutches it.
2 points of health for the remaining 2 players as well, and doesn't take a point afterwards. Is proof to the fact that those situations are winnable. I think I even said it before it happened. I said, if there's ever a chance, it would be this. The bomb plant gives him so much leverage. Like, imagine if he stayed towards B, you were never going to get that bomb set down. He was given just an inch to move away. He takes it, and, well, he wins the round because of it. Dignitas, hard pressure towards Boiler. It was Cressy to find the opening damage. Lecro down to 10 points of health. Dignitas suffering a lot, it seems, in the early doors of this CT half, no matter the round.
Yeah, Freiburg and Heat just trying to see if they can peek off Jiggle for any contact out to the top of Banana. AWP misses that window of opportunity. More nades can come through, and Slacks is going to burn with a peek on the M4.
Grenades are in. Heat finds a Nuz up. It's a second kill, this time with the utility, accompanied by Freiburg's knowledge, the big brain. Coming forward once again, Dwayne to deliver. Smoke going to be dipped in. And Sprout, they go from man advantage, or rather HP advantage, looking incredibly strong. And you flipped it around. You're in a 3-on-5, 2 players half health. Yes, Lecro's still on 10 points of health. Problem is, the body's on your side, less than Dignitas's. You've got to make an execute happen, and it's got to be so effective. We need someone to step up.
Even for Speedy, just trying to lurk up to A, getting really mistimed with that incendiary for the CTs. They've rotated a 3rd player over to B, and even Heap's been able to strike onto Rouse. The T's can start moving into this A side. Speedy needs an entry.
More than just an entry, he needs a haymaker. Doesn't see Lecro. I mean, talk about pixels away from death, right? He moves up here. Lecro, will he be spotted? No. Speedy doesn't know. Peek in from Forest from mini pit anyway will do the job. Lecro to swing off of that contact. Cressy, with an AWP and 6 seconds to go, has no choice but to save. And that will be a 10th on the board for Dignitas. After losing an embarrassing 1-on-3 to A, they pull it back quite nicely, flawlessly, in fact, into round 19. Good stuff. Round 20. I mean, more than likely has to be an investment made by Sprout. Single round loss bonus, or rather double. So I guess now they eco, right?
Yeah, just upgrade slightly around. You can go hero AK if you wanted to on Speedy, go for a higher investment. Get that over to a teammate. So they have the hero, it's just that Cressy takes it, has that armor because he saved onto the AWP. And notice in that round too, that it was actually Lekro playing out from the graveyard area that peeked forward, saw the short angle, and then didn't peek again. Instead, just waited for the timer to run even lower and wait for the contact out and pit. More nades going into that bottom of banana position. No T-side player's going to take any of that damage.
A big opportunity, Dweg, for them to capitalize. Slow pace in this round set by Sprout. They understand the importance that this AK and the AWP are put in positions to shine. Cressy has just been given free reign towards A. In the meantime, his team's moving towards B. Slacks scoped in with that AWP. They're trying to find something. Heap just hearing the jump, and that's enough to deploy their Molotov. So a good bait of utility, wearing it down, where then you allow the pistols to close the gap. Dignitas have got to be careful. And I mean, grenade sent in, flashbang over the top. Heap waiting for the second one, flashes in, Slacks caught blind and he spotted the first man. Now he's going to call there's aggressiveness towards B. Yet to see a flinch rotate from A though.
A great re-smoke on the timing, and there has been a few times from Sprout over on this T side that any time there's counter utility, they actually start just having a mid-round call. Lekro, does he even get checked out from the copy corner?
No, he doesn't. He finds one. Only good for the one, though. The AWP of Slacks, of course, repositioning towards A, grants that level round. Holzerk, his sniper now into fruition towards the site, drops the bomb. Forrest's a second, and the crossfire impenetrable. Holzerk now holding an aggressive angle. He's caught off by Slacks. Forrest has found the third towards Longo, and that's going to be it. Really nice round from him. All four players taken down towards A, and the only casualty was that AWP, which is brought forward by Dig into round 21.
And they do lose one of those AKs, so it is a slight letdown. Might have to wait until the next rifle round until they can get any more. Sprout, jeez, it's been so streak-based, hasn't it, from both of these teams? We saw the massive streak to start over from Dignitas, then we saw 2 in a row, a little bit of a bounce back, and then a huge streak of 7 in from Sprout. Now we're starting to see a streak coming in for Dignitas. How much further can they build this up? Oh, this is quick. Very fast in mid.
Lightning fast. They go for the opener. Holzerk caught blind, drops them on. He transitions away. It's now Lekro. Here's M4. Problem is ammunition. Holzerk's grenade good for a second. Repositions to hold passively towards long while he waits for the cavalry to arrive of Freiburg, who's good for the first. Rawls, yes, he has the A1S. Only half armor. Well, 45 points of health isn't exactly a favor for him. Holzerk, in fact, doesn't even flinch. Doesn't even go for the trigger. He knows Cressy was going to jiggle and instead allows Forrest to swing wide and find the frag. Rawls in a 1-on-4. Sprout, I mean, as you mentioned, streak-based. They now look second best once again on this T side, and heading into these later stages, you can't afford to look this inconsistent.
Being streak-based is okay. It's just when the streak's against you, you're not quite happy about that. Sprout looking for a way in, and for Rouse, even getting a bomb plant's going to be tough. Rotation from Freiburg over to the B site. Him and Heap are playing together. Rouse is going to be able to get a kill and a bomb down.
Unreal. The question is, how more can he find from this one, though? Holzerk posting up. Does Rawls expect this player towards CT? He has the back nearly of Freiburg. He won't know just yet. Playing with time. Will they clear this angle once again? No, they won't. Rawls finds one. Spots the back of Freiburg. Drops the smoke. Flashbang goes high. There's no way he wins this clutch. He goes aggressive to try and find it. Forrest just runs through the smoke twig. We're down to a 1-on-1. Freiburg taps on the bomb. Swings wide. Oh my good God. 22 points of health that's in it. He just has the time for the defuse. Boy, it got close. But no cigar for Sprout. It's 12 on the board for Dig. But 4 casualties in the round.
Oh my goodness, that is like the biggest what if of the entire day. That could have been such a sick play from Rouse. Oh, that comes so down to the wire. You feel for him. You could see that happening. The way that he's isolating the picks. The way that he even sneaks into CT and deals with the AWP and the backstab. Oh my goodness, that was a good effort. That was a great attempt from the Dane. It just doesn't come through. Dig, I bet they were sweating it in that one.
Absolutely. Consider the money as well, right? The financial situation for Dignitas is poor. Great swing from Farfan. They spot the barrel on the mid-peak. Slacks calls that information. He's gone aggressive, just pre-fire back left-hand side. And he does exactly that. Farfen getting the first kill. The M4 drops. Farfen even continuing the spray later down the line here. Just trying to play with their chances. They had a great opening opportunity. They took it to its full extent. And a 5-on-4. Dignitas now have to pull back the numbers.
Yeah, Re-Smoke and Incendiary to the top of Banana to take back that map control, and Sprout will put a HE forward. Freiburg's actually not that aggressive about it, not completely trying to take that area back. They are having a slight risk and a gamble stack on B. They've also got Forest playing longside on A.
Very passive on the A plate. One single player to try and hold things down. It's an overwhelming stack towards B. 3 players posted. Having said that, Freiburg, he's going to get a flashbang. Now levels out the odds. A great mid-round retake here for Dignitas to control B. I'm surprised we don't see a rotate off the back of it towards A, though. Freiburg peeks down B. He knows the whole lane is clear. And so now it's on Forest to delay. Maybe not to go hero playing, find a huge spray down. It's merely just him. He has to hold on, wait for the cavalry, play the retake. It's a 4-on-4. We're level.
Now, there's some few nades for Heat to try and work with. Hauser being able to spot one of the pit players, so that's information they can work with. Try and spot players over. This motor smoke's starting to clear, and this is going to allow vision for the CTs in.
Speedy. Spamming an unreal amount through that smoke. Holzerk, he knows that mid position is occupied. He knows there's one. Cressy with one. Farfen with a second. Holzerk's AWP to find Speedy. And it's all the T side. Sprout, hold on. I mean, really good attempt from Dig there. Cluster up, play the numbers, play the opportunity. But Sprout, tenfold better in that round. And then, ironically, gives them 10.
Ooh, this is getting very close, and it's going to come down to a game of economy. And for Dignitas, knowing that they're on 1900 loss bonus, they don't exactly have a massive amount to work with going into round 23. And just being able to eco a couple of these pistols, buy down lightly. Sprout going to get up to 11, you would assume. How much realistically can this eco do? I do think back to that round with Freiburg. They had an AK in that one, though.
Right, options are limited in this one. With no flashbang, as you mentioned, no premium rifle as well. You can't really tee up a player to go hunting for a first frag. Instead, it's all up to initiative. Freiburg, gonna get the boost. Nice peek from Wolves. Reads into the play quite nicely. Dips in the grenade. Nice one from Heap. He's only going to do about a quarter of the bar to Wolves, though. Dignitas 4-on-5. Try to go for the pre-fire. Sees nothing. Moves away. Time Sprout, they're going to use double mollies. They're going to go towards B. Ensure top banana is clear. Maybe now look for an execute. Heat, overzealous from Wolves. Pull it back to a 4-on-4. We need to see more from that Deagle, though. And the players start charging in. Speedy's going to be the first one. Contact. A second frag. Yes, it's found by the Deagle. A 3-on-3, keeping things competitive.
You can just see that whole situation. It's just a bait. They're just allowing that B anchor just to be by himself. And no matter really how many picks eventually comes through from Heat, they're only going to rotate when they completely get the information. It was all about that stack on A. And for Sprout, it now just comes down to not losing any more players than they already have.
The damage game, definitely strong for Dignitas. Sprout, as you said, trying to hold on, trying to ensure the Dignitas can't find any more damage, and I think that was the best way to go about it. Taking down 2/3 of the remaining players. Upgrading to a Deagle here, Lecro. He's trying to hold on, expecting Slacks to peek from Banana, moves away. Does find the damage to Cressy, but it does not matter. AK, top trumps. Of course, that Deagle. 12-11. Another close game here, Dwayne, on the B stream.
Yeah, and it's been some correlations that huge leads don't also mean that it's going to be a massive one-sided scoreline. I don't think we've had that at all. Coming down to the wire, and for Sprout, they're hanging in here. Rouse is doing some good work. Farfen's performing well in the post plant. Slacks is getting the AWP pick here or there. It's all about just trying to ride that comeback, try and see if he can tie up the scoreline. Now, Heap is playing aggressive towards Banana. He's going to have some support from Freiburg. Farfen just playing behind the nades.
Smoke dipped in, grenades go deep. Farfen really wants to press for this first frag. He's opting for the boost on the half wall. You see he was already crouched in position in case someone from Sprout wanted to try and jump in. Dwig, I mean, as close as this is, it just seems every round we see is so one-sided in a team's favor, right? You talk about the 4v4 post-plant, like, what, 3 rounds gone now with the crossfire set by Sprout. Round beforehand that Dig won. Really promising stuff for them. Yeah, it came down to the bare bone, but it was a 4-on-1 retake. Rawls got fortunate in his position. Really nice effort from him in the clutch. I mean, that round was close, but to begin with, it wasn't. The main bulk came from the success, the peaks that Dignitas had. It's so back and forth, but so close.
Now, there are probably some of the tells. It seems the Dignitas are only getting those retaking smokes and nades to the top of Banana when they're playing 2 on B. Something that Sprout are starting to recognize and going in for the B exec, knowing there's only 2 here.
Flashes are in. He caught full blind. Now Freiburg has to spam heavy, and well, 2 kills granted and no response leaves Sprout down in a 3-on-5. Speedy has to leverage. Bomb. It's going to be set down. Freiburg can't quite find the damage. Speedy, he goes for the spam of his own. Good damage done to Freiburg. Problem is, Slacks has been caught out so much, and Cressy even taking some tag damage. Lecro shall fall to the AK on Banana. A 3-on-3 retake. Good trades. Heat finds 2, though, and all down to Cressy in a 1-on-3.
The NWP's posted, needs to hit this shot straight away. Does bait out the AWPer, needs to get eyes onto the bomb. They're going to re-smoke down, and this makes it so much more difficult. The wallbang through the smoke does deal with that first player. There is going to be another defuse coming through. Cressy getting close to the shot, and Hauser moves forward to try and protect Forest. They're going to get that defuse on, even with the time low, even without a kit. 13 on the board now for Dignitas and Sprout. They felt as if that was so close when they first got the kill on the diffuser, but just could not follow up onto Cressy.
Close once again. They make that round incredibly close. As you mentioned, the pattern is that retake util comes when there's 2 people on B. Sprout, quick to pick up, quick to realize, accommodating that knowledge. They go for a B play. And to be honest, it's probably the worst case scenario, right? Losing 2 players with no trade. At least if you go 4-on-4, 3-on-4, it's a recoverable standpoint. But numbers and the retake is I mean, so important, so strong. You play your cards right. Dignitas, of course they do. They find 13. Grenade going to be dunked forward towards the wood position. Freiburg spamming heavily through the smoke, just left, right with the mouse. Does some damage to Faven. Not quite enough to find the first kill though. Oh, wow.
Yeah, great shot coming through for Halzad. They do need to start rotating players back over this A site quite quickly. There's no one on long side. It's both mini pit and big pit for Dignitas to defend on A.
Minute and 10 to go. Slacks setting up for the Moto smoke. Sprout going to try and head towards this A site. This is where it gets very intense. Forest to drop the one-way smoke into the position. Cressy caught. And well, even when Forest is blind, he's still able to find one. Even if it's competitive going to 4-on-3. Lecro spray transfer does some serious damage as well. Forest still in a good position, yet to be flushed out, finds the bomb. And now all down to Speedy. Tries to push through the smoke, can't quite find a thing. And well, 14-11, Dignitas are taking the lead, the forefront there, and the money for Sprout at a low. And we finally see that 4th timeout being expended, and quite late in the game.
They've got to make a tough decision here, Retro. Force buy or play for OT. Now, if they save here and they eco, they've got themselves a good buy. It's just that they have to play for overtime. And honestly, this spray transfer from Lecro to be able to get up to Graveyard did so much damage to set Forest up in that pit angle. I don't know what decision you make in this one. You force it up, you give yourself a chance of really cracking in. Otherwise, you glock the round out. You've got to grind 4 rounds in a row just to take it to overtime. That doesn't even guarantee that you win the game.
It really is. Now down to Sprout. We're playing chess. It is their move. You know, effectively in checkmate, right? Where you go for the investment. I mean, it's one good chance, but if you lose it, that's it. The whole map's thrown away. If you eco, like Sprout have done here, I mean, yeah, you concede a 15th. 4 rounds in a row. If this was the flip side of things, Sprout had great momentum. They had such an opportunity. In the T side, we yet to see... We see success, but we just don't see large chunks of it. It's very periodical. Yeah. And so Sprout at this point in time, they're going to need to go against the odds in that sense. They're going to need to find 4 in a row. And that's to take it to overtime, as you mentioned. Doesn't even guarantee success for them. It's Deagles, it's Glocks, it's a horrible round for Sprout in this one. All reliant down to that final.
Well, you have to remember, outside of the 3-0 start they got in the second half of winning pistol, the anti-eco and the conversion, they've only gathered 2 T rounds, which just isn't enough at all when it comes to the rifles. Lecro being able to have the aggressive nature of peeking into brackets, and this is getting ripped apart. No kills are being found at all by that single Deagle, and 15's going to come through from the Swedes. 1 more round away from being able to make it 2 wins on the trot. Mad Lions yesterday on Inferno, perhaps Sprout here today on Inferno.
I mean, you talk about the Mad Lions game as well. It wasn't exactly as close as this one. 16-9 in favor of Dignitas. Sprout, giving them definitely a bit of a run for their money. Taking them to double digits is always an interesting one. Problem is, as I said, Sprout, more than likely losing this game, puts them out of this RMR. And depending on how things go, Dweg, I don't want to look too down the barrel, too late down the line. With how some of the teams are playing in this event, it could actually knock them out of the major. It just depends on how other teams play, right? And of course, that's such a broad statement to make. But that proves the importance of this for Sprout. They're not out of the headlights. They've still got to find success in this RMR to guarantee a spot at the major. It's all up in the air now if they lose this game.
Now, for Dignitas, that's almost the fire they need to just try and get them over the line. So much util for them to work with, not using much of it at all, playing incredibly passive out to Banana. Finally, some noise coming in, so they'll put an incendiary down to the top. HG to follow too. Not a lot of damage being done, and I think about Lecro rotating back over instead. Sprout going to start bringing the cavalry into brackets.
55 seconds here, Dweg. And it's the all-in play towards A, it seems. I mean, you've got limited utility. You can't exactly throw a fake with this kind of level of utility. Halzerk playing the left eye peak, and that is the problem playing that angle, right? You're tucked in, you're narrow. The problem is, of course, if people swing from the right. Lecro finds one, Forest one more. And well, now it's gone from bad to worse. Forest finds one more. Cressy falls. Speedy does get the trade. A 2-on-2. It's kept competitive. It's 25 seconds. It's the post plant to keep Sprout in it.
Freiburg's got an incendiary. He's playing out for Moto, so this can go down into the site, try and force Pretty out to the open. That's doing some decent damage.
Yet to commit off the back of it, though. Cressy stuck towards the mini-pit. His position compromised. Speedy's just found one, though. And the second, yes, it's found. Sprout keep the train going. It's 12-15. 3 more to overtime.
An all-important round to come in from Sprout. The unfortunate nature of winning that is that they only won it with one player staying alive, so the money situation isn't fantastic. Cressy peeking on the contact of Speedy, and the in-game leader just gets the job done. A triple in that. And look at the buyback. You've won a huge round. All right, lads, here we go. 3 more to OT. Oh, wait, we've got 2 Galils. We're light on YouTube. We can't even get an AWP out for our team out of Slacks.
The same goes for the CT side, though, Dweg. Money, quite poor. I mean, Lecro, yeah, Forest, cool. Halzerk's 4.1, Heap 3.4, Freiburg $4,100. It's worrying. It really is a stressful time for Dignitas as well. They understand. Yes, they're on match point. Yes, the scoreline looks so good in their name. And yet they call another timeout. They're going to take a whole minute, Dweg. Think things through. Their steps they take here, very, very cautious. Something I did want to point out, right? Lecro, top of the scoreboard, 18 and 18, 127 ADR. The only player to come close to that on his team is 62 ADR on Halzerk and Freiburg. On the flip side of things, the highest is 80 on Cressy. The man's playing unreal. He's doing so much damage for Dignitas, yet the game's still so close.
Yeah, Lecro's doing work, and he was a great pickup again. An experienced player, played on Ancient, a Godsend Fnatic, had a very long stint on NIP, over towards North at the back end before moving into Dignitas. And looking at their track record in the last 3 months, they're 5-0, 100% win rate on Inferno, Nemega, LDLC, Double O Nation, GXR, Mad Lions. They're all the results they've got in. This could be one of the closest so far, 15-12. Sprout, they're giving them a test right to the end.
Round 28. Dignitas opts for an investment. They understand the lead. You lose this round, you eco the next, you buy for the last. So realistically, Dweg, Dignitas have 2 more shots at winning this game. I don't expect them to win an eco. No team expects any team to win an eco. Hold on, I'll hold that thought. Freiburg has just sent a grenade right down Banana, dealing a tremendous amount of damage. Faven down to 54. Slacks and Rules both eating the tail end of the shrapnel. That's a huge nade. A real good chance of kicking them off. AWP as well for Halzerk. Slips away as the peak happens. Dignitas maybe conceding until Halzerk finds the opener.
That's unfortunate. Very flashed in that. Farfan thinking about retaking some of that top Banana position. And now with that pick coming in, he's actually got some further support. Freiburg's rotated back over to that B side to just have a helping hand. And for Sprout, there's a lot of focus in gaining this Banana control. They don't have a lot of utility. You've got the one molly onto Cressy that can go out to Noobbox, some smokes as well. Flashes is limited. They've got 1 flash.
It really is just going to be a Hail Mary execute, isn't it? You mentioned the economical limitation for Sprout. Molly dunked in. Just trying to just get a feeler for how Dignitas are playing. When you're in a 5-on-4, times are so difficult. As you mentioned, utility at an all-time low. Rawls is going to be dropped at Farthen to keep the flash. And now you walk into the jaws of the Orc, the territory of the beast, and he's looking for one, and he does get away with it. Any more would be nice as he finds the second. Looking for more, and Halzerg just does not stop. One more to find, and Halzerg, the king of it all, the beast I hold, and that gives them 16. What a game.